Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Into the Vault, the show where Tim stares at me as I do the intro. We find a Disney movie and I talk about it, or whatever my intro is.
They say to never work with your friends, and that's why. Because they make fun of you when they put on their host voice.
What did you do?
What?
What did you do?
I just stared at him. It's not my fault I make him nervous.
I'm so scared all the time. But that's unrelated to this.
I don't know. It's pretty
This
related.
movie is a little scary.
So anyway, Tim Watt and Sam Smith, you're both here.
Hey, yeah.
Yeah, we talk about Disney movies, old ones. It's usually covered in the intro, but that was all just garbled nonsense.
Listen, you listen to the podcast. If this is the one that you're tuning into, don't
For the first time.
go back a couple
Pick
episodes.
any other episode.
Literally, this is like the meta of meta.
Pick any other episode, listen to that intro, be like, oh, I get it, and then come back.
Well, you could pre-record an intro. Here, let me
What?
pre-record an intro for your show.
Okay.
Hey, I'm Garrison. This is Into the Vault, where we watch a movie that no one's seen and then review it on a podcast that no one listens to. Welcome.
Rude.
I say that as I'm like on it like all the time.
You're the worst person I know.
Sam, I'm glad to have you on the show.
I'm so glad to see you, Garrison.
Sam,
We'll ignore this one.
You and you alone, being my
me and
guest.
you.
Yeah.
Yep.
I was wondering, do you like elephants?
I do enjoy elephants.
Do you like big old flappy ears?
I love big old flappy
I can
ears.
tell, because look at Tim.
I know.
Wow, that's real rude. Are you going to ask me if I like elephants?
No.
So, Sam, today we're actually watching the 2019 version of Dumbo.
That's my favorite 2019 movie.
What other movies came out in 2019?
Little Women.
I don't
Cats. Little Women.
And Dumbo. Those
Rise
are the
of
three.
Skywalker?
Rise of Skywalker did come out in 2019.
Did Endgame come out in 2019?
Yes.
Yup.
Yeah, April.
God, 2019, what a better year.
What a better
Such a
year.
good year.
Such a good year.
Like
We're gonna be like older from now, and we're gonna have a wine from 2019. We're gonna be like in The Hobbit, where he's like, "This wine's from 2019. A good year, good year, almost as old as I am."
Yep.
Yeah.
My career wasn't in shambles in 2019. Ah,
I
man.
didn't cry as much.
Oh, I cried way less in 2019.
Same.
I
that true?
Well, I don't know. I saw
don't know.
Endgame like 20 times in
Yeah, we
2019,
did.
and I cried every time.
I think we watched it in theaters like almost like 8 times.
Yeah.
And we cried every single time.
How many hours is that? 3 times 8 is numbers.
That's like 500 hours.
So wait, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15,
It's
18,
taking so long.
21, 24, 24.
I just wanted to see how long it was going to take you.
I only know that because I was George in Schoolhouse Rock Jr.
In Seinfeld the Musical, you were George.
I was in Seinfeld Jr. the musical.
What's the deal?
Honestly, I would watch that if somebody made that a thing. Like Seinfeld the musical, first of all, and then made a junior edition.
I want it to be like done in the same styling as Hamilton, where all the songs are rapped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can it, are they going to do the wanking episode to see how long they can go without?
Jerry Seinfeld, we're waiting at the club for you.
We're gonna do a contest. We're gonna do a
Do
contest.
you think there'll be like a rap battle between Kramer and Jerry at some
Can
point?
you do an impression?
What, of Jerry? Ah,
Or a rap battle?
Yeah, Jerry. You know, I
hey.
think
I tell a joke about airplanes and food.
you should put that in your
I
act,
can't-
Jerry.
I can't just rap in general, so to rap as
Yeah,
a character,
it's really funny.
it's just, you know.
Not gonna happen.
So this movie stars so many actors: Danny DeVito, Colin Farrell, Michael Keaton, and it's about Dumbo.
There's also so this guy, there's that one actor who I only know him as a drunk person because of Saving Mr. Banks. He's in this movie, right?
Colin Farrell.
That's his name?
I think so.
Ah.
Yeah, Tom Hanks.
No, he's not an alcoholic. He's Walt Disney. Well, Disney doesn't drink alcohol.
Yeah.
He's not
Does
allowed.
he smoke cigarettes?
Back to the movie we're talking about.
No, yeah, this movie came out in 2019. It was based off of Dumbo. It was a
Real life story.
The reason this one is so different from the animated one is because it was based off the book.
yeah. Now, Tim, you've seen the version of Dumbo we're going to watch.
Yes.
But you didn't watch the original ever.
I've never seen the original Dumbo. All I know is that there is a baby elephant in it, and it can fly. That's the only thing I know about the original.
To catch you up, because it's Disney's short, like, it's so short. I think it's around an hour.
Yeah.
Or maybe under an hour.
Yeah, it's really fast.
There's an elephant, and they find out you can fly.
That's the whole movie?
That's the whole movie.
Whole movie.
Okay.
They fill an hour with that.
And
Those
where
two
does
plot
Danny
points.
DeVito come in to the equation?
His mom.
Yeah.
What? As a small...
Not to get too spoilery for the movie we're about to watch, but watching this one in theaters, they get 15 minutes in and they cover all of Dumbo.
Yeah.
Like in 15 minutes. Yeah. And I'm like,
it's like 2.5 hours.
I know.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
women
what do we do now?
What do we do? Where's
I will
the
say,
show?
I've seen... Okay, so Sam and I have both seen the 2019 Dumbo, the one that we're about to watch, the one that's being featured on this podcast.
Yeah.
We've seen it.
We've seen it, but I don't remember much. I just remember seeing it in theaters, and I remember everybody being excited
For
no reason. But
we were just like, Danny DeVito's in this.
should we talk about the reason we saw
save
it?
that for later.
Save that for later? Okay,
Okay.
because that's a good story.
Yeah.
That's a real good story.
I mean, honestly, I think we should just watch it.
We should.
Let's
Catch
watch
up, have the same level of excitement that they
Yes.
had
They
on
made-
your viewing.
Ooh, Lots of cheering.
Yeah, we're going to yell as loud as we can, even though Jaden is napping in the room over. It'll be a great plan
It'll be a
with
great
no
idea.
flaws,
Yeah.
and
Will
everything
not
will work
upset
out.
Anyone. Will
No.
not make anybody angry that
No,
they
it'll
can't
be great.
sleep.
I will say, and this will make more sense later, but when I cheered for the Dumbo movie in theaters, I was being forced to. So
Yeah.
I think that's a good place to watch a movie.
yeah.
And we are back. Oh my god.
That's a movie.
Look at us. We have long beards now. We've aged 10 times our age before. So, what, 240, 230?
It's yeah, I've watched all of the extended editions of The Lord of the Rings in one day, and that was still less time than this movie was.
And here's the thing. Because I watched it in theaters. And it was long in theaters. But it wasn't this long. I'm wondering if I'm just too close to it. Like, because I saw it in the past couple years.
Well, there is a thing to be said about when you watch a movie at home, especially with streaming where you can tell how much time there is left. You'll be at a part of a movie and you're like, oh, it must be wrapping up. And so you'll check, and then you're like, oh, there's still an hour and 45 minutes left. And that's how I felt with this movie. Because it's 2 hours long. You get 15 minutes in and you're like, oh, this movie must be wrapping up soon. It's kind of like a denouement coming. And then you look and there's still an hour and
7 years
50
left.
minutes left. And
Especially since we've all already seen it. We know what happens.
Yeah.
But I was still surprised of how long it went.
no one should see this movie.
No, I'm gonna change that. You say that. I think if you are a Danny DeVito fan, you should see this
You
movie.
should fast forward to the Danny
let's
DeVito
be-
part.
Just watch the Danny DeVito bits. Move on with your life.
Well, let's
Dumbo, who cares?
get a little bit into, because I don't want to go through the whole plot, because it's
Let's just talk about the Danny DeVito parts. then,
Okay.
Because that's the most... if
so there's two Danny DeVitos,
There was two Danny DeVito.
but also it's just one Danny DeVito.
just one.
Spoiler alert: it's Danny DeVito in a fake mustache.
And a
And-
goatee.
Oh, the classic blunder. Oh, no, I got tricked by Danny DeVito and the mustache again.
I'm wondering why they didn't just hire Danny DeVito's actual brother, Arnold Schwarzenegger, to reprise his role, and also put Arnold Schwarzenegger in a mustache.
Honestly.
Mr. Arnold was too busy.
I want to see the elephant.
It takes place at a circus, obviously, because of Dumbo. We have a dad coming back from war.
He has no arm.
He has no arm. He lost his wife and his arm. And what's worse is that his 2 kids are just blank planks of wood.
Yeah, I wanted to punch both of those kids in the throat.
The brother was fine because he didn't talk as much.
He didn't do anything.
He did nothing. He just... Well, no, he did stuff at the end of the movie when he's riding people, but like...
He did stuff at the end when he was writing people. Like every good child
Okay,
should.
I will say, I'm going to take back Tim's sentence. You should watch this movie specifically to get context for that sentence so you don't get mad at my podcast.
It's not what it's meant to be. The daughter, we don't
stand the daughter.
Her whole character thing is that she enjoys science, and that's it.
That's
but
it.
also, she's just a piece of wood.
Just a piece of wood.
And I don't like to blame child actors, because, like Tim Burton, you're a director. Direct the actors, please.
Yeah, she's like 14, 15 in the movie, like the actress. But
the character's like 9.
The character's like 9. Bad
10,
acting.
I don't know.
Real bad. Not good.
I do have a big problem with one of the things at the end of this film. There's a part where the daughter now has like a hut, and she invents things and she shows off her inventions. Can you not bite me? We're doing a podcast. Okay, I just need to lay this out. Sam bites me constantly.
It's my love
and
language.
it's such a problem that
my
she
love
can't
language.
even keep it together
It's my
for
love
like
language.
20 minutes
No, I can't.
while we're recording a podcast. Anyways, she has like this hut and she invents things and shows off her inventions. And she has like basically the projector that's like the magic lamp projector where you know you've seen those before.
Moving pictures,
like really early projector stuff. But it's 1919. That was invented way before that.
No,
like,
she invented it.
But she didn't.
No,
though.
she's a scientist, and she invented it using the scientific method. Yeah, so the circus they all work at isn't doing so good because of a pandemic, and you know with pandemics how sometimes entertainment roles have to be cut.
That part was honestly my favorite part of the whole film was Danny DeVito sitting there depressingly at a desk, and it's like things haven't been good since the pandemic, and I'm like
the influenza.
Yeah, the influenza, because it was, you know, the Spanish flu had happened like 2 years before, I guess, that. So it just felt very much, I'm like, oh, so that's what's going to happen to us.
We're going to lose the circus.
We're all going to work in the circus. Like, that's... And we're all going to lose our arms in whatever war we have to fight soon.
And our wives.
And our wives. My wife
is dead.
My wife is dead. I don't have an arm.
The circus gets some elephants, including a baby elephant, Jumbo Jr., that we all know as Dumbo. And I've always had a problem with the Dumbo story, this one and the old one, in that everyone hates Dumbo because of his big ears. Who cares?
So cute.
Who cares?
Yeah.
They're just ears.
It's people in the early 1900s.
In the early 1900s, unless you go to a circus, you don't know what an elephant looks like. I would just look at that and be like, that is almost certainly what any baby elephant would look like.
Exactly.
Also, elephants have big ears already. So it's like, oh, that elephant has bigger ears than that elephant.
So ableist.
Honestly.
Elephabilist. Yep.
Elephantist.
Good. Yeah, so basically we get through the entirety of the Disney movie Dumbo in the first 15 minutes where it's like, he learns how to fly, and they do a circus act with fire, and then, like, Dumbo flies around, the audience cheers, hooray. And that's the end of the other movie. But this is only the beginning.
You're only 38 minutes into the movie.
Because Michael Keaton shows up.
Yeah.
Michael Keaton and Jeff Bezos show up to terrorize this town.
There is a disturbingly pointy bald man working for Michael Keaton.
Do you think that Michael Keaton just is a really big Dumbo fan, and he went to Tim Burton and he's like, "Hey, listen," he comes to Tim Burton as Beetlejuice. Hey, can you put me in Dumbo? Hey, write it, make me.
He came to Tim Burton as Watto from Star Wars.
Hey, there's a very thin line between Watto and Beetlejuice. Hey, man, Annie, hey, I'm the dead. Hey, I'm dead.
The elephant, it's a flying.
Okay, that one's like multi-layered. Like, first of all, it's Michael Keaton. Then it's Michael Keaton as Beetlejuice. Then it's Michael Keaton as Beetlejuice, but like he doesn't know how to do it anymore, so he sounds like Watto.
Dumbo? It is you! Hey, how you been?
I can fly too! It's like flying with them. But it's like Watto, but like really bad.
Beetlejuice's head.
Yeah, like really badly superimposed on. He's doing dumb Beetlejuice looking faces.
Yeah. Michael Keaton is in charge of like this weird like amusement park. They play him as Dreamland. He's almost like a Walt Disney character, kind of. But it's weird because like they're playing him as this like super evil guy, but also they give him kind of Walt Disney aspects.
It's very weird.
It's weird. I'm not saying it's inaccurate or accurate. I'm not going to go there right now. But it's weird.
Yeah, the Dreamland looked cool. Like the movie looks great. The whole like Art Deco, cool looking World Fair type theme park was really neat.
Yeah.
But that's my only praise for the film.
Yeah. Basically, the next hour can be summed up in just like 2 sentences. There's a French trapeze artist. Michael Keaton wants her and Dumbo to fly together. Eventually, they do. And then Michael Keaton goes crazy and tries to fire all the circus performers and take Dumbo for himself and kill Dumbo's mom so Dumbo won't ever be distracted. And so they have to free Dumbo, and it's easy to free him because he's a flying elephant.
Yep.
And that's the whole movie.
That's the whole movie.
Do you think that there's any theme park executives that got cool ideas from this where it's like, so if we just killed our employees' mothers, then they would be fine working overtime?
Look, yep. I don't want to give them any ideas.
Like, we'll give them tickets to the park to bring their mothers, and then we keep them.
We put them into the voodoo section of our theme park.
Yeah,
Because why was Dumbo's mom dressed in voodoo apparel? Why did they put her? That was a whole thing.
That's honestly kind of problematic.
It's very problematic.
There was a couple weird racial things in this movie.
Well, it's Tim Burton.
It is Tim Burton, and the thing is, they didn't include the weird racial things from the original.
They just made new ones.
They just made new ones.
New ones. We're like, we're gonna make the banker Jewish. Like, what? That was a problem. We're gonna make this elephant voodoo. Wrong. Very wrong.
I also had a big problem with the fact that they did the pink elephants segment.
Yeah.
Whereas in the original, Dumbo drinks a lot of alcohol on accident and then hallucinates all these pink elephants. Here, he's just sitting here before a performance and, like, he's imagining and hallucinating all these pink elephants, but for no reason.
But why? But for what? Like, why?
It doesn't add anything.
It does nothing.
It doesn't make sense for the scene. It was only because it was in the original. That was one of my problems. Also, at the end, the inventor daughter makes a robot hand for her dad.
How? We didn't see it.
Yeah.
Until the end of the movie.
No, I need to correct you here. That little girl is in fact a genius because she realized that Dumbo needs a feather to fly.
Science is the scientific method.
She talks all about how we have to use the scientific method to help Dumbo. Because they see him fly earlier, they have to figure out how to make him fly again. She's like, we'll use the scientific method. And then they, like, drop a feather, and Dumbo goes crazy and starts flying. She's like, see, the scientific method works. That's not the scientific method. What was your variable?
Right.
What was your hypothesis?
Yeah, it was ridiculous. Ridiculous. Tim Burton doesn't even know what science is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Humans can't have scissors as hands. Tim.
Beetles don't have any juice. Tim.
Bug juice beverage man.
Bug juice beverage man.
Batman can't returns.
Returns?
Bats aren't man.
But Danny DeVito is a penguin.
Yes.
Frankens can't weenie.
I'm trying to think of other movies he's
Alice in
done.
Wonderland.
Big eyes? I don't know.
Sweeney's no Todd.
Todds can't be Sweeney's.
People would make gross pies, Sweeney Todd. That would taste horrible.
No one would buy those people pies.
No one would buy the people pies. How does Edward get scissors in his hands?
He was
He was born
this way. I got scissors for hands, and I got no adrenal glands, cause I'm a robot man. I was created this way. I'm cutting that out. No, I'm not.
No.
Keep it rolling.
I really do enjoy podcasts that constantly talk about cutting things out, but then they don't. We're like, we're going to cut that out. And like, they totally keep it. And sometimes I can't tell, like, did they forget or did they just, like, they just joke
Sometimes,
around? We're going to cut that out.
As a podcast editor myself, sometimes we decide it's funnier to, like, have that little peek behind the curtain. Like, be more relatable.
Oh, like the Wizard of Oz.
Like the Wizard of
Aren't
Oz.
you a really cool podcast wizard?
He's a podcast wizard. I don't know why I'm only thinking of songs now.
Yeah.
Well, we did sing show tunes earlier. Well, you two sang show tunes.
I think this movie would have been better if it was a musical.
I think this movie would have been better if Timothy Q. Mouse was in it, but no, there's
Yeah.
some Tim Eraser.
Timothy Mouse was in it for half a second
1
as
second.
as a non-talking regular mouse.
Regular mouse. That's it. What a great character.
Before we move on to the next segment, would anyone else like to air some grievances about this movie? Or have anything they would like to bring up?
Nauseating. I don't like it. It's stinky. Don't like it.
I'm going to go out and say it. I think Tim Burton overall is a bad director.
Yeah.
There's
so many losses.
Yeah. Even his good movies, I'm kind of like, it's still got problems.
Yeah.
Like, it's like the idea was good, but the movie itself is...
I like his style. He should just be like a style, like have someone else direct, and he's just like, here's how it should look.
Yeah. Exactly.
I would agree with that.
I think it would have been better if they cut out the child, get rid of that girl. Nobody cares about science.
Dumbo was good.
Dumbo was good.
Dumbo himself.
Whoever acted as Dumbo did great.
Andy Serkis in a mocap suit.
Oh my god. It's just him running around in the soundstage going...
More like Andy in the circus, am I right?
Hey.
But yeah, I will say Dumbo looked good.
Yeah, he did.
He was the one CGI thing that I was like, that actually
If this
looks
movie
good.
cut out all the nonsense and stayed the hour length of the original and focused it on Dumbo, I think it could have been good.
Could've been good.
Because I like the cast and I accept the children.
I have one last gripe. The
Yeah,
intro
please.
to this movie, where it does a little like nugget of Casey Jr. the train.
Mm-hmm.
Cool, great. It's way too long. I think it's just lame. I think if they would have cut it to just the front scene, you see Casey Jr., you know he's coming down the track, puff of smoke, the Dumbo logo, and then that kid running, you could have cut out a whole minute and a half of that movie. That's it.
Wonderful.
I don't like that bit.
Yeah.
It angers me every time I watch it. I'm like, this is so dumb.
All right, so it's trivia time. Here's the
boy.
part where we talk about a little bit of trivia. So, there's a lot of Dumbo references in the parks. Not really about this movie, though. Obviously, there's the Dumbo ride. The Casey Jr. Circus Train is a ride over in Disneyland, where they also have Dumbo. You also get the circus train in the old electrical parade. Dumbo's featured in Disneyland's fireworks show. He's all over the place. But yeah, not really anything too much about this movie's rendition. But did you guys know this is not Dumbo's first live-action appearance?
I didn't know that.
Where is he else?
There was a television show. Dumbo had his own TV show.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
It was called Dumbo Circus, and it featured, like, these big walk-around characters.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I remember that.
Oh, that shouldn't be real.
Do you remember the Dumbo meet and greet? Like, it is a terrifying
Yeah.
meet and greet.
They have a meet and greet. He's on his hind legs.
Yep.
He looks wonky.
What? Wonky slush.
Tim, this would interest you. For some reason, most of the cast of the Dumbo Circus show, I don't know why, but like 4 or 5 voice actors from that show went on to do Adventures in Odyssey, the radio show.
Oh. Oh, your standards are already low.
I don't know what the connection is there. I don't know if one got in. He's like, I have a bunch of other talented voice actors from my last gig. You guys are going to love them. I think it was like one of Jim Cummings' like early things too. He's now like the voice of Tigger, Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah.
Like a million Disney characters. Like that Dumbo show was his first like. Look at this character. Look at this weird cat in a tutu.
Cats.
It really is very much reminiscent of like early Disney Channel. Like, there's so many weird things like that.
Yeah. There were. This is a little off topic. They also did a Winnie the Pooh show in the style of like big walk around puppets.
I remember that. That one I actually liked as a kid.
They're all bad.
Well,
And I'm not talking about the Book of Pooh for all you Winnie the Pooh fans. It's not the one with actual
Book
puppets.
of Pooh was awesome.
Not actual puppets. It was big walk around puppets.
Yeah.
And it's weird. But I think that's it for trivia. You guys have a weird connection to this movie.
Okay,
Yeah.
so if anybody's a Disney fan, they know that Disney Parks blog will do meetups over here in Orlando for new movies and stuff, and I do like them, so I will have post notifications on. And they'll be like, sign up now for this thing. We do a thing. You come to it, and we bring you there. And it was for Dumbo, and I was like, you know what? I haven't done one of these in a long time. I've done a few of them. I did Peach Dragon and another one I can't remember. But, yeah, we signed up. We got in. So Tim and I showed up to Disney Springs. We parked our car.
We did.
And we stood there
So,
for like 45 minutes.
I had never seen the original Dumbo movie, but she asked me, do you want to go? And I was like, well, yeah, because Danny DeVito's in the remake.
And it's for free.
So Sam made these shirts that basically, I think mine said I'm only here for Danny DeVito, and then she had one that said Danny DeVito's biggest fan, and like they were like, it was like a white T-shirt and it was like put in Sharpie.
Okay, so yours was like
And
I'm
for
on-
everyone, you can find these pictures on the Into the Vault Instagram by the time this goes up.
So
Yep.
there's a whole punchline to this, and it's pretty great.
I think mine said Danny DeVito's #1 fan or like biggest fan, and yours said like I'm only here for Danny DeVito, and
Yeah.
like I made these shirts the night before. Like they're really bad.
Yeah. So we get there, and it was at Disney Springs, and they put us like in the fancy Dolby Theater. And, like, it was, like, a legit operation. Like, they had camera crews there. It was a whole thing. They sat us down. They had, like, this skinny-looking weird kid come out that I guess is, like, the Disney Parks blog person. And he was like, hey, we gonna watch Dumbo. And, like,
Yep.
It was trying to make it so much more than it really was. The best part is at the beginning, they got video of us, like, clapping and cheering to be excited. And it turns out that, like, so basically they made a video that's on YouTube
It's
afterwards.
still on YouTube.
It's still on YouTube. They made like a video afterwards, and it like had like, you know, edited together stuff, and the movie ended in the video, and then they showed the clapping that they forced us to do before the film even started, because they knew that we were gonna watch the film and then not clap afterwards.
Which is great. So after that, they took us into the big charter buses from Disney Springs over to Magic Kingdom for an after-hours party over in Old Fantasyland where the Dumbo ride is.
Storybook Circus.
Yeah, that. And they had food being, what was it, like cupcakes and cotton candy?
Yeah, like they actually had like really
Yeah,
good
they had
food
some
and like
really-
performers and
Yeah,
like
they
stilt
had
walkers
circus
and
performers. Well, I love free things, and I saw that if you went and did an interview, you would get free stuff.
Yeah,
so
so,
I
like-
said, I have to do an interview. I want free
so
stuff.
they did these interviews, and they they interviewed you and asked you about the movie. So a couple things to just paint the picture here. I had never seen the original Dumbo. I didn't.
Third time you've said that.
Yeah, I didn't. I haven't seen the original Dumbo. I didn't like this movie. We're wearing shirts that say we're only here for Danny DeVito. We wait in line. We get to this thing, and they ask us all of these questions. I kid you not, like, they grabbed us from the line, put us in front of the camera, and, like, there was moments of silence of them just looking at us and, like, them being
Reframing.
like, oh my God.
How do we frame their
How do
shirts?
we do this?
How do we frame this right? Because they have a very specific way. If you watch the video, they have a very specific way that they have framed everybody, and it doesn't have like much of their outfit, but for us
Ours,
it was
it's
our
like
whole
right
shirt.
there. Okay, so they interview us, and they're like, what did you like about the movie? And we're like, our favorite part was Danny DeVito. And they're like, so what parts like stood out? Like, there was any point like you thought was emotional? It was like every moment that Danny DeVito was there.
We only talked about it.
So they did like really short interviews for most people, but like
Ours
they
was
were
like 15 minutes.
Yeah, they were interviewing us for a long time. And then the best part is they asked us like, you know, did you like compare it to the original? And I was like, nothing like the original. I don't know. Like I just like was guessing. Then the best part is they asked us, all right, use one word to describe how Dumbo makes you feel. And like Sam said something like actually interesting.
I think I don't remember what I said, but I definitely made it up.
Yep, and I went flight.
And they just stared at you.
And they stared at me. Then the movie comes out, the video comes out. They used, I kid you not, like 2 seconds of us just going, yeah!
It's so good.
Like they filmed all
Me
of that.
talking about Danny DeVito going, it's
so good.
I was
But we got like 2 Blu-rays out of it, so
free posters.
And so you guys are in the DVD extras.
I think so. Yeah, if I remember
think
right, like the little Parks blog blurb is in the
extras.
the extras and stuff. But
Our claim to fame.
yeah, it was pretty great. It was honestly like,
Stop putting your finger in my sock.
you bit me earlier. Like you can't like.
Can't put your finger in my sock.
So now's the part of the show where we.
This is off the rails.
Oh, this has never been on the rails. All right.
Casey
No, Casey
Jr.'s
Jr.'s on
coming
the
down
rails.
Crazy train. Ooh.
Honestly, Ozzy Osbourne actually wrote a Crazy Train after writing Casey Jr. at Disneyland.
All aboard!
Sharon,
He's on the end of it.
Sharon, look at this train.
Look at this train.
Get the dogs. They have so many dogs. For what reason?
So normally on the show, we like to construct a ride for the movie, but there's already a Dumbo ride. So what I'm thinking is how do we reinsert this update into the existing ride? Like, how do we want to change it up to make it match up with this rendition?
Would you like to hear our idea?
We have
Yeah,
an idea.
of course.
We want Danny
Danny
DeVito to be
DeVito
naked and
as Dumbo.
and that's the ride vehicle.
That's right. You're right, Danny. He has to be face up. That way you have to look at him and make
Oh
eye
my
contact the
God.
whole
And
time.
then we all know what the handle is to go up and down.
Up and down and it's spicy.
Yeah, and then he when the ride starts, it's like, hey, you can fly, you can fly, you can fly. For some reason, they like superimpose Peter Pan into it.
So Danny DeVito is not only the ride vehicle. Instead of Timothy Mouse being like,
It's
Dumbo, the flying elephant. It's now Danny DeVito like, hey, get in my stomach.
Yep,
I'm the trash man.
I'm the ride man.
I'm the Dumbo. Yeah, that's it.
Do you want to make any changes to the Casey Jr. circus train in Disneyland?
It's Michael Keaton.
With her sister rides.
Her sister.
It's like, you know how you refer to rides at the similar.
Is it just one extended Michael Keaton, or is
Yes.
this a weird
Have you ever seen the
Michael
SpongeBob,
Keaton to Michael Keaton to Michael Keaton?
Have you ever seen the
I'm not going to reference the
SpongeBob?
movie that I'm thinking of. Sam gets it.
What movie?
Don't worry about it.
We'll tell you later.
Bug
Nope.
Juice Beverage Man, Bug Juice Beverage Man,
Yeah.
Bug Juice Beverage
Great.
Have you ever seen the what's his name? It's not Patrick Swayze, but it's
Patrick Stewart.
no
Patrick Starr.
No, it's kind of the SpongeBob live action movie with the one
David Hasselhoff.
David Hasselhoff.
Oh yeah, but they're like riding the David Hasselhoff.
Yes.
Yeah, like his nipples.
But it's Michael Keaton.
And that's the train.
That's the train. But the seats are imposed into his back.
On the board. He has the Watto voice too. Get on the train.
On the train.
What are you doing? Not being on my train.
His weird Jeff Bezos-y looking henchman is the attractions attendant who welcomes you.
Get in.
Amazon Prime.
I think we've constructed the most perfect rides that we could ever do.
Yep.
So What do we think? Is this a hidden treasure?
Nope.
Okay, good.
No, this movie needs
Sucks.
to... Like, this movie...
Just lock it away.
Yep. They need
We're
to make it
for it.
uncanon.
It didn't exist. If you were to take out every part of Danny DeVito just being Danny DeVito, you would have a good movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you took out all the humans and it was just Dumbo, you have a good movie.
Well, I think it would have been really interesting to just... Like, Danny DeVito is a great actor. Like all jokes aside, like, he's really funny.
Michael Keaton,
he's a
too.
meme. If they just
Colin
did...
Farrell?
Yeah.
Firth Farrell? I don't remember.
Honestly, take out the family. I don't care about Colin Farrell. I don't really like him. He's annoying to me.
Yeah.
Like any movie he's in, I don't really like him. But so take out Colin Farrell, take out the family, make the relationship about Danny DeVito running this circus where he abuses animals, but now Dumbo comes along and like changes his heart
And he learns
all
a
this
lesson.
other stuff. But then he also is kind of tempted by money. And
That's where Michael Keaton comes in.
Michael Keaton comes in, but then he does the right thing and is like, no, we're not doing this. He realizes how Dumbo's being treated and his mother's being treated. They save him. Danny DeVito flies away on top of Dumbo into the sunset. That would have been an amazing film.
I agree.
Yep.
I was trying to think of a joke of like, or Dumbo flies away on Danny DeVito, but I realized the joke didn't make any sense.
Or Danny DeVito at the end is revealed he can
He
also,
can also
fly.
fly, and they fly away together.
Yeah, but he's naked. For some reason, when I picture the whole plot, he's naked the entire time.
I like his outfit.
Well, guys, I think that's all we can talk about for Dumbo. Thank you so much for joining me.
You're welcome. Thanks for making us watch that movie.
Thank you for having us, Garrison.
Tim, you're the one who recommended this movie, so
Yeah,
really, if we have to blame anyone,
Yeah.
it's
stinky.
Tim.
I just thought it would be entertaining.
It is
It's
entertaining.
not.
We did so many entertaining bits. We talked about Seinfeld. I don't remember why.
We ate cookies.
We ate
Garrison
cookies.
made amazing cookies. Everybody needs to know about Garrison's cookies. Also, the spaghetti, amazing.
Yeah, I made spaghetti and cookies. Not as one meal. That's two different things. I don't remember what else we talked about. We talked about David Hasselhoff's nipples. I remember that.
Same.
Well, guys, I know you guys haven't mentioned it, but yes, my ears have grown 10 times bigger since the last time you saw me. I appreciate you not saying anything, but I'm
know
going to
you're
fly
so
away now. So, goodbye. I'm flying! What are these pink elephants in the sky?